Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking at the Bad Business 3.11 update. Today I'll be going over the Raygun Revamp, the balancing changes, cheering, the new legendary skins, bugs and bug fixes, what's next for the game, and best of all, actual team balancing. As always, I'll have timestamps in the description so you can watch whatever you want. Keeping up with years old tradition, I'll be going over the skins first. This week we have the Crazed Doctor and the Cyber Alien. As of lately, I've been judging Bad Business skins based on how much they stand out, because at this point there are so many skins in the game. I often go to make a new outfit and find that I have items I don't even remember buying. These however don't really stand out. To my knowledge, the Crazed Doctor is the second recolor of the Plague Doctor skin, and I actually think this is the worst one. However, it does still look cool because it overall just is a cool skin. And the Cyber Alien is pretty much just a recolor of last week's skin, I think. I don't know. Just overall, they're two very cool skins, but they don't really stand out that much. This week, however, we also got two new legendary skins. This is actually my first time going over legendary skins on my channel, so this is kind of weird for me. I wish I could buy them and show you guys in game, however, I'm kind of broke right now. Speaking of credits, be sure to use code INVASION in order to get 3,000, which is the best code yet. These two skins, however, are very good. I mean, I don't think they'll ever release a bad legendary skin, other than maybe the alpha ones, but these two are just very good. Taking a look at the Electric P90, this one is just very detailed, looks very cool, has a very cool sight in game. However, it just isn't really like, wow. If I were to put this in a tier list, I would definitely put this in A tier, because it is really good. I think it was actually the first legendary skin ever leaked. Just the only thing is that like it doesn't have like a super special inspect animation, and it's just not like, it's not like that one step above that I'm looking for, kind of. The Magnum legendary skin, however, this one is an easy S tier. The Magnum is my favorite weapon for many of the early days of Bad Business. However, it sort of fell off as time went on and they kept sort of nerfing it. With a new revamp, however, the Magnum is now my favorite gun in the game again, and when I saw that they're adding a legendary skin to the Magnum, I was incredibly excited. This skin is amazing. The first thing you'll notice is that there are 6 lights coming out of it that shoot out these sort of like beams. These are very cool, and just overall the skin is just very clean. Everything about it is just so nice, other than the fact that it doesn't really have a special inspect. The sight on this is also very good, and overall everything about the skin is just super good. The main features update, however, is the Raygun. The Raygun was added to the game in September 20th of 2019 as part of the Area 51 event for 10,000 credits. At the time, it was the best gun in the game. It was just absolutely broken. However, as time went on, they just kept nerfing it and just sort of became forgotten. However, this revamp breathes tons of new life into it. So getting into gameplay, the Raygun is somewhat the same. It makes the same noise when you equip it, it has pretty much the same stats, and it just really handles mostly the same. It has a different reload animation, but it's just overall mostly the same gun from before, with a few nice upgrades. The Raygun was always a good gun. I mean, it used to be absolutely the best gun, and after being nerfed a lot, it still holds up as being pretty good. In Bad Business, most special weapons are sort of just meh. They're sort of like, okay, maybe you can use it every now and then. It's okay, but I mean, it's nothing crazy. Except maybe the bow, because I think the bow's broken. All of the special weapons kind of suck, but the Raygun has always been pretty good, and this revamp just furthers that. As always, the Raygun 4 shots to the body, has 30 magazine. It's pretty accurate, and it's overall just fun to use, making it a very solid weapon. However, the Raygun gets way better with attachments. Looking at the sights, there are 4 new sights that are completely unique to this gun. The reason why I say 4 is because the sight of Sentimentality is actually the old sight that this gun used to have, and I'm very happy that they actually added this back. 3 of the 4 sights are just basic one-time sights, and honestly they're all very cool. The sight of iron is my personal favorite because I just find it to be the easiest to aim with. As for muzzle attachments, we have the horizontal muzzle, the stationary muzzle, and vertical muzzle, all of which are completely unique to the Raygun. Personally, the horizontal muzzle just seems useless to me. It decreases horizontal recoil and increases vertical variation. However, there really is barely any horizontal recoil, so it's basically just increases vertical recoil. The other 2, however, are alright. The stationary muzzle decreases recoil and prone recoil and all that, so it's basically just a bipod, but decreases hipfire accuracy, which is kind of weird. And the vertical muzzle is basically a muzzle brake, but it increases horizontal variation. But that's not too big of a deal. I don't know. Just basically the top one's kind of useless and the bottom 2 are sort of there. As for barrel, we have 2 sort of mediocre barrels. Extended barrel increases damage range and decreases visual recoil, however it barely increases damage range at all, and we don't even know what visual recoil means in bad business, and I don't really notice the difference, so it's just sort of meh. As for heavy barrel, it increases damage at range and reduces camera shake, both of which are very nice things to have. However, I mean, I'm not trying to say it's bad, but I just don't know how I feel about it. Camera shake also, I don't really notice a difference. I just don't know. I think the barrels are probably the weakest part of this revamp. Looking at the ammo though, this is where things really start to heat up. Starting off with the extended plasma, this is sort of the run-of-the-mill. Is that a saying? I think that's a saying. Basically just a normal extended magazine. It increases the magazine from 30 up to 40, which doesn't seem that good, but all things considered, it's statistically pretty alright. It increases the magazine size by 33% and only decreases hand mobility by 3%, and it increases reload time by 10%. So I think that's a net positive. The other ones, however, completely change up the gun. Long shot, I had never thought that the Raygun would be a sniper, and let me just say, it's weird. I wouldn't say it's good, but I wouldn't say it's bad either. Looking at its stats, it has the second fastest fire rate of any sniper, second to only the Dragunov. However, you probably won't really be shooting that fast because it has very, very weird recoil. It has a sort of, when you shoot it, it sort of bounces up and has a really weird recentering that doesn't even fully recenter. It's just really weird, I guess. I don't know. Everything about this is just really weird. However, it is really fun to use. I don't think like a week from now you'll see anyone in game really using this, and I think it'll be one of those things like, whoa, use long shot ammo. That's so cool. I don't think it's really anything crazy. If fire accuracy is bad, I mean it's just not really. If you want to use a sniper, just use other snipers. However, this is a very fun thing to just mess around with every now and then. So as I mentioned before, the long shot conversion doesn't really feel like a traditional sniper. It just feels off, I guess. However, this can turn into a way more traditional sniper with attachments. Looking at the side of redundancy, it's as close as you can get to a scope on this thing. It's weird. I don't know where to start with this thing. It's like a scope, I guess? I think, maybe? Kind of? I don't know. It looks very cool. And I wouldn't say it's not practical, but it's alright. I mean, for what it is, it does a decent job. I don't want to say I would have rather had a normal scope, but it's just overall cool. I'd only really use this for the long shot conversion, although it does kind of work with other ones because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, overall, the long shot conversion is very fun to use. It's a very good addition. I wouldn't say it like makes or breaks the Raygun, but it's just very fun to mess around with, and I'll definitely be using it maybe like every few weeks in the future. However, that was only the start, and the long shot has nothing on this next ammo conversion. Next up we have the 5x burst, which I don't know where to start with this thing. Looking at it here, it says it has burst fire rate with decreased damage. This seems like a very bad combination, because most people prefer auto over burst, and decreasing the damage for it just seems wrong. If you look at other burst weapons like the FAMAS, it has a very high base damage as a burst. However, when you throw an auto to it, it makes it do much less damage. So seeing something the other way around just makes it very weird. Looking at the numbers, however, it's very justified. It does 30 damage, which is a huge decline from 40. However, with a 5x burst, that means you do 150 damage if you hit all the shots, meaning that you can kill someone in one burst if you hit anywhere in the body, as long as you hit all shots. And let me just say, this is crazy. So looking at it, it has very weird recoil. I think the closest comparison to this burst is the Hollow Blaster, since it's a 4x burst. It's a special weapon, but I just don't know. But this thing is crazy though. If you can hit your shots, you can kill extremely fast with this. However, it's just kind of awkward to use. I mean, it's still the Raygun, so as long as you use it, it's going to be weird to use. But it's very, very far from bad. You also have the 5x burst extended, which is basically just this with extended plasma, and again, I would definitely recommend this. Unless you're trying to go for 105 mobility, these are very good attachments. Finishing up, we have the same grips as usual. They do the same stats. They're just sort of there, I guess, as they always are. Now, onto stocks. Things are starting to get weird again. We have the full stock and the wire stock. None of these are particularly like special. However, you may notice that they look very familiar. That's because these are the same exact stock attachments as the 44 Magnum, same model and everything. However, they have different stats. On the Magnum, wire stock decreases recoil and makes hipfire accuracy worse. However, on the Raygun, the wire stock increases hipfire accuracy and increases the recoil. And they're in reverse order. And finally on the perks, they're the same as usual except you have FMJ. This is because of the sniper conversion. FMJ gives it +1 piercing, so you can get 2 kills with 1 shot. However, the thing that makes this weird is that if you take long shot off, it doesn't work. So you can use FMJ and get nothing out of it. So if you want to be really funny, go ahead and use that. I'm not sure if this will be fixed. It might be intentional, it might not be. It's just a very weird thing, I guess. I don't know. I expect it to work on other things, but I don't know at this point. Overall, I think that the Raygun was a very good revamp. I am very happy this weapon got revamped, and I think it was very desperate for one. However, this brings up an interesting point. The Raygun was the very first special weapon to get revamped. And in my head, this means that there will be other special weapons being revamped soon. I would not be surprised at all if the snowball launcher got a revamp in the coming weeks. This is because for the first few months of revamps happening, there were no revamped pass weapons. The first revamped pass weapon was the Sten gun, and soon after, all sorts of pass weapons were revamped. This leads me to believe that after doing this, they'll revamp a few other special weapons, and then maybe in the coming months, they'll start revamping the melee weapons. But overall, the Raygun is a very good revamp. It will always remain as just a good weapon in the game. It wouldn't be meta, but it's just overall very good. Always be a fun weapon to use, and it will always be a decent purchase. I don't know if I recommend buying it. I think it's the best special weapon to buy, but compared to other weapons, I'm just not sure. Is that Pokify? Is he using the gun pad? The Raygun, however, was not the only weapon that was updated. There are also a few balance changes, the most notable being the 44 Magnum. During the new revamp, the 44 Magnum became the best gun in the game once more, and they decided to nerf the hipfire accuracy. Honestly, this might be the smallest nerf ever in bad business because I don't even notice it. I think they could probably get away with like not even putting the patch notes, and I don't think anyone would notice. Ultimately, I'm kind of sad because I like the Magnum a lot. However, I think this is definitely... I'm ultimately happy. Poor man. No! We also have a nerf to the Deagle hipfire accuracy, which I guess also makes sense because the Deagle is way too good. The Judge's fire is also nerfed just a little bit. I mean, Judge will always be broken, so I'll never be mad at the revamp for the Judge. Nerf, not revamp. The Vector's ACP mag was also nerfed, no longer giving a damage at range buff, which honestly damage at range is a bit, I wouldn't call it overrated, I don't know. But that's not a huge deal. I mean, nerfs in this game are never really catastrophic, so if you use the Vector, I wouldn't really freak out about that. So it's actually pretty rare that we get bug fixes in bad business. It's a game that only has a few bugs, however, as time has gone on, they've slowly started to pile up. And this week, we've received 2 attachment fixes, including the AK-47 properly displaying minimal stock, the thing. Because before, it used to just say increase instead of increased handling. It was actually kind of weird because yesterday, this really started to bug me, so I was actually very happy when I saw they did this. And they also fixed the M84 scope on the M1 Garand because apparently it didn't display earlier. I have my same setup from before they even revamped this gun. I know you'll have not touched this since the revamp, so yeah. They also added this new cheering feature, which displays a bunch of different emojis under people, and you can just spam cold face emojis because this is the best emoji. Apparently in the update log it says that it will be tied into XP game and batters in the future, so I'm assuming that the amount of times that you get cheered is like, maybe you get like a tiny bit of XP as well. Maybe it's like XP multiplier for the game you played. I mentioned that maybe you need a certain number of cheers to get certain badges. I'll touch more on that sort of stuff later in the video though. At this point, I've pretty much gone through every single new feature. This was a very good update. However, you'll remember at the beginning of this video, as well as the thumbnail and the title, I mentioned that this is the best update in all of bad business. Now that is a very bold claim to make, especially with such a weird update like this one. Expecting to say that the best update would be like the attachments update, like 2.0 or 3.0, something big like that. It may be a bit confused on why I believe that this is the best update. Now, this is for a few reasons, but mainly for one of them. The one last thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that they added new team balancing. And this mean like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. New team balancing, that's like, whatever. But this is huge. You have no idea how happy I was when I saw that in the patch notes, logs, update. Yeah, but like, I really wish I could have recorded my reaction when that happened. Because when I saw that they did team balancing, I was thrilled like nothing else. Because for those of you who don't know, Bad Business has a very weird history with team balancing. Now, I'm not 100% certain on this, but to my knowledge, the only team balancing that's ever existed is simply the top player of both teams can't be on the same team the next game. I mean, okay, I mean that's not bad, but that's not very good either. And that certainly led to very, very bad balancing. However, I noticed that I started being on the team with the top player of other team quite a few occasions, and I don't know this for sure, but I don't think there was any team balancing in Bad Business since December of last year, and that was very bad. Now, it may be noticed that I have not played very much Bad Business this year. I mean, I still play this game a lot in most terms, but compared to every other time in pretty much Bad Business history, I am barely playing this game. The game is still fun to play, given that there's actually competition. The team balancing in this game just got so unbearable to the point where I would barely ever play this game. No joke, the majority of King of the Hill games were 300 to 0, and it was just not fun at all to play. Regardless if you get the good team or the bad team, it's just not fun to play if it's unbalanced. Even if you get the best team in the world and you're going against the worst team in the world, it's just not really fun. I don't know. And the thing is that team balancing has always sort of been in the back burner. In the Trello, the team balancing has been planned for months. Nothing I've always mentioned about it for months, and it was probably the biggest problem this game had. However, wow. But when I saw that they made improved team balancing, I freaked out. That was the best news I had heard about Bad Business in no joke months, maybe even years. 3.0 was a weird update. It was way, I don't want to say it was bad, but it was way worse than what it could have been. Originally it was playing with all the weapon revamps and all that, but I honestly think that 3.0 made the game worse. It introduced game modes like Domination and Hardpoint, which are kind of bad. Hardpoint is a bad mode. Infection can be fun, but it shouldn't be in public servers, and it was just a weird update. 2.0 added like all the attachments. The attachment system was a brilliant update. It was incredible. However, it didn't really do anything. I had a great time at 2.0. It had so much new stuff to the game, but I noticed it just felt kind of empty. The game wasn't really more fun with attachments. The reason why I think this is the best update ever is because it actually improves the gameplay. Like, this game is actually more fun to play now. And not only that, but it also mentions in the update log that it's an early iteration and there will be improvements over time. This is the best news that could ever be given in all of Bad Business. Like, not only actually having team balancing for the first time in years, that's actually noticeable, but that we're getting improvements to it as well is just incredible. As well as the legendary skins and the brilliant revamp, this is a really good update. And is that a hacker? Team balancing also fixes up so many of the other problems. Because Bad Business, I wouldn't say it's notorious for bad spawns, but the spawns in this game aren't always the best. But a lot of that is because the entire games take place within the spawns because of how bad the spawn camping gets with the unbalanced teams. And it just fixes so much. Everything about good team balancing is such a positive, and this is probably the biggest net positive thing that could ever be added into Bad Business. The past weeks I've been trying to get gameplay for videos, but just been so discouraged because I'm either pretty much unable to spawn basically, or there are pretty much no kills left to get. But it's just overall the best thing that could ever be added into Bad Business, and I'm so incredibly proud. I do absolutely think that this is the best update ever. Just on its own, good team balancing is great, but as well as the new revamps, the new skins, the new legendaries, the new cheering, the new balance changes, there is not a single thing that is truly bad in this entire update. So that's about it for the update. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure yet because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this will be my longest update video ever, and it's well deserved. This is a great update and all. I had a okay time making this. I honestly didn't actually have that much fun because hello? So this isn't actually a video I was planning on making. I actually had 2 other videos planned instead. So my original plan was after the custom map video that I would get to work on a video up to M4. sort of reviving the old weapons videos I used to do, however this time with revamped weapons and attachments. The video was looking very good, however I noticed that they're going too in depth. I was going over every single tiny thing about how attachments and stats work, and I realized that I should make another video about it first. Many months ago, in actual, I think May in 2021, I was working on a video that explained every single thing about how attachments worked, how stats work, and all sorts of stuff like that. Because there's so much that people don't know about this game that should be known. Because like, almost nobody knows what handling means. Like sure, maybe it has something to do with ADS speed, but I doubt that many of you guys know that handling is a mix between ADS speed, swap speed, and equip speed. Pretty much, that video was also coming along okay. I started work on it, but it was a bit slower, and that's pretty much I've been working on the past few days. But then something interesting happened. I was not planning on making a video on this update. Even after it came out, I still didn't think I was going to do it. My plan was to keep working on the attachment video and then just go from there. However, something very interesting happened. Over the past few days, we got in a few interesting leaks. One of them was an M16 revamp. This is something that I've kind of wanted for a very long time. I've heard a few people be skeptical like, oh, why would they do this? Just revamp like another weapon. They already revamped it. However, I think that this is one of the best additions they ever made. No joke, for years, I've been talking about how they should just revamp the M16. M16 was the worst revamp in the game, and it should have been something great. The M16 could have been like, it could have been AK level revamp, but instead it was released with one barrel attachment that like sucks, and 2 extended magazines, and 1 ammo conversion that is the worst thing in the game. So when I saw that they're revamping this, I was extremely excited. However, it posed a threat to the weapon videos I was going to make. So I was deciding to make the series based on the date in which weapons received their first revamp. So I was going to do M4, then MAC-10, then M16, Raygun Revamp, and so on. However, soon after update came out, there was an M4 revamp leak, which at first I was super happy about, because as cool as M4 was in the release, it doesn't really hold up now in terms of quality. And when I saw that, I was extremely happy. An M4 revamp, that's incredible. Like, the M4 could have so many, like, more cool attachments. It could have so much better into the game, but then I realized that that completely ruined the video I was working on. I was working on the M4 video, and that would just be outdated by the time I release it. And I have no idea when this update will be out. And that also means that the other weapons that I will be talking about will become outdated as well. So I'm not sure if it's the best idea, so I decided to just get something out, and to make it seem like I don't just randomly leave again after saying I'm back, I decided to upload this video. But Bad Business has a very interesting future ahead, and honestly, I've never been more excited for the game. Ever since the attachment update, I've always viewed the game as being downhill, because, I mean, that's the biggest update that was ever going to release, and now that that's over, it's sort of just like, hi Pugify, it's sort of just all downhill from there. However, taking a look at the trail, the leaks, and unreleased content from many months ago, this game has a very bright future ahead. So first of all, as I mentioned before, we're getting M16 and M4 revamp. I would assume that these would be tied into the same update because that just makes the most sense, but I mean, I don't know. Now, something that hit me a few days ago is that I realized that almost all the weapons have been revamped. I mean, I'm pretty sure something like 11 out of 19 assault rifles have been revamped, and like the majority of submachine guns, like almost every single gun in this game, well, I wouldn't say almost, but like, I don't know if even the majority, but a very large amount of weapons have been revamped in this game. And that's when I sort of started to realize that, where was I going with this again? So the weapons I think will be revamped next are probably the M1911, since we already got a leak for that, and I mean the M1911 is such an outdated weapon. M1911 I think might get released next update. I wouldn't be surprised if it was released next update. I wouldn't be surprised if the M1911 was released to the Caltech, because this is the revamp that has been talked about for a very long time, and it's a weapon that has needed revamp for a very long time. It's already been leaked like almost a month ago at this point, and it's been talked about for many months before that. The trailer also has revamps listed for melees, which leads me to believe that they'll be doing a melee update soon. That will not only revamp melees, but also add a bunch of new ones that you get through leveling up. Because many months ago, there was some sort of leak about, there are a bunch of melees leaked that have not been seen since then. So it leads me to believe that maybe in a few weeks, maybe even 2 weeks, maybe a month and a half, we'll be getting some sort of massive melee update. Infection? Okay, so it's infection, and I don't know what I'm doing. It's infection, and level 28. Oh my gosh! He got a kill! He got a kill! Is what? Okay. Basically, I think it's coming soon. We'll most likely have the M1911 revamp and Caltech revamp. Sometime soon we'll also have an M4 revamp and M16 revamp. I wouldn't be surprised if we got AUG revamp, Snowball Launcher revamp. Some sort of melee update thing going on. That's my guess for pretty much what's next. Now, I also mentioned at some point, I mean, maybe I mentioned this, I don't know. I have done so many different recordings of this update that I don't even know what I said and what I haven't said. But at some point, I may have said that I'll talk about more about the cheering later. I mentioned that they'll be doing badges, and this is something. Badges are an interesting discussion. Elmer badges are talked about a lot, and people thought they were like achievements, and they weren't, and they were, something like that. However, I've noticed something very interesting. The Trello isn't really talked about at all, and I don't even see it being updated anymore. Like, it still says the latest updates of the Brazil map. But something I haven't seen anyone talk about, I mean, to be fair, I'm not very into the bad business community, and I don't really watch bad business YouTubers, but I haven't seen anyone talk about this. But if you look at the badges card on the Trello, it says that there will be like something like 25 new badges, each with its own legendary skin. And if that's the case, then that's gonna be insane. I mean, in bad business, we've only gotten 12 legendary skins, and only 6 of them are like actual legendary skins. Alpha ones don't exist. They're just like Wyoming. I don't know why people are bouncing. Like, what? Why? Apple! Yeah, I can't believe I've spent this long on the video. I think I'm like 2 hours into recording this. Yeah. I like watched like a bunch of my older like update videos and I realized they kind of sucked. So I don't know. I hope my commentary is better than this one. It's I don't know if I can talk. Like the biggest problem with my update videos like before, and one of the reasons why like I stopped uploading altogether was like I just kept doing it over and over again. Like, oh, he's trying to open the door. I'll help you open the door. Let's open the door. Come on. Open the door. Yeah, open the door. Yeah. I don't know what this video has turned into. I don't know what I'm doing at all. Wait, did they fix that hole? There used to be like a hole here that you could like squeeze through and then like. Can I? Oh. Yo, he's back! I hope that's the same person. Yo, it's Xbox person! Yo! Oh, this is so sick. Man, I like literally. Yo, let me use the bathroom too. But yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing at this point. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. I can't do this anymore. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me, kind of. Hopefully I'll upload kind of regularly. I was not expecting to make this video at all, so I'm sorry if this is a bit lower quality than what I've been promising. I promise that my newer videos, when they do finally come out, will definitely be worth watching, and now that Bad Business is in the spot it is, I'll probably continue to make Bad Business videos, so yeah. Alright, so it's post-production section here, and there's been quite a few stuff that I found since I've recorded the video, and a bunch of things I forgot to mention. So, first of all, when the update was released, it was released with a few bugs, like a melee bug or something, and so right after the update release, pretty much they updated the game again, except when they updated it, it was on like the Bad Business test map, and the map only has like one spawn, and it was like free for all, so it was completely insane. I just got like the stupidest weapons I could find and just tried to farm kills. There were like a few like testing features as well, like there were these glowing orbs that when you press like Z on, you get to pick up weapons, so like I actually picked up a G3. I think that probably has something to do with like the leaks with like the weapon pad things like on the ground. I don't know exactly what they are. You know, maybe it's something about like they're adding Battle Royale or something. I doubt that. I mean, I don't know if I doubt that, because that's possible. But yeah, that was just really fun. That's another reason why I think this is the best update ever, because there are just so many like small things about this update to like just, I don't know, it was just overall a really, really great update, and I really wish to see more updates like this. However, there is something that I missed earlier, and I can guarantee that every other person, well, I don't know, but I can guarantee that there's probably no one else in this game, maybe like one or two people, but there's something really weird I noticed. So as you can see, we're on Area 51 right now, which is quite a fitting map considering the Raygun Revamp. And I was on here trying to do a thumbnail, I don't even know what I was trying to do, but then I noticed something pretty weird. So I was over here, and I noticed that there was something very funny. Instead of the truss like there always is, it got replaced with a modern bad business ladder. Which, I mean, that's weird. Maybe my memory's just tripping. I don't know. Maybe I was just, maybe I just hadn't been this part of the map for a while. It was kind of weird. And, I mean, kind of doesn't work. You have to sort of like jump up to, I don't know, it's weird. And then I was like, maybe I'll check another one. And I went over here, and I realized that this is now ladder as well as the one on the hill. Now, this is something that, I mean, it's not a huge deal for them to do small map changes like this. Like, I mean, this kind of happens, like, every now and then they modernize maps a little bit. But it's just kind of weird that it happens to be on Area 51 during the Raygun Revamp update. And this encouraged me to keep looking. And I then realized that there is a fourth truss on this map. And that one happens to be at the tunnel leading to the Fenway graffiti. I always got the Fenway spot. I don't know. That just sounds better than graffiti to me. I don't know. But when I look at this, I realized that this is still the normal truss, which was weird. And then I noticed something was different about this. The tunnel to the Fenway spot is completely gone. Well, I take that back. The tunnel is there, but they patched up the entrance. If you try to like glitch the map, which I'm kind of bad right now, so yeah, but you notice that I suck too much right now. But the tunnel is still there, but they just simply patched it up, which that was like, whoa. It kind of brings back memories from the whole Strucid UFO event and how when they released the new Beach Town map that they had all this like special like event stuff, like, and they were like underneath the houses there were like a UFO and it was all this crazy stuff. So it immediately prompted me to like make conspiracy theories and all that, but I'm not sure if anything really is going on, because if it is, then it's hidden really well, since I was all over that map, outside the map. The only weird thing I could find is that there's this blue thing, and for some reason inside all these buildings there's just this blue stuff. I'm not sure if that was there before or if that just happens, but it's just kind of weird. Maybe this has something to do with how that gap is missing in Chernobyl, and yeah. I'm also not 100% sure, but I think they replaced one of the trusses in waterways with a ladder. But it's just really confusing why only some of the ladders are replaced. Like, all these are normal, but the one next to the Fenway spot is still the truss. But that place was clearly edited because, like, they removed the tunnel. So maybe it's intentional. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But if this is the case and this is just to modernize the game, then I'm all for it. I really like small map updates like this, and I think this could really help play a part in keeping the game alive. It just feels like so much more of an alive game, seeing the map receive small updates. Speaking of that, I forgot to mention, but this place was also patched up. Like, there used to be a hole in there, and like I was no joke doing this earlier, like the same day as update, like right before, where I used to like go through here, and I'm kind of bummed out that that's patched up because I think it was kind of harmless. I don't know, maybe it was like bad for gameplay or something. There's one more thing though. For some reason, on all the maps, there is now I forgot the name of the skin, but there's one like the medieval skins are for some reason are just like on the maps. I don't know why. It's like the one with like the cool purple particles, and for some reason it's just like there. I don't know why. Maybe it's an Easter egg. I don't know. It's weird. This is a weird game, I don't know. But yeah, I really was not expecting making this video, and I'm just gonna say that I probably won't be doing very many more update videos. I don't want to say like I'm not doing them, but with school starting and all that, I just don't know if I want to dump this much time into videos and updates, because like, I'll be in school and the update comes out, I'll be very late, like I won't be able to get it into Saturday and all that, and I mean, it's depending on how it works, I don't know. Um, I don't know what my next video will be. I'm hoping to have some out in like the next like week or two. Thinking about maybe streaming, maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe not, depends on a lot of things. But I'm gonna try my absolute best to be active here. This is something I really do want to keep active. So, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are other map changes, maybe some Easter eggs or something, I don't know. But honestly, like, I was really skeptical to return because, like, Bad Business just seemed like it was dying, and honestly, I think it kind of was. But after an update like this, I am definitely reassured of my decision. So I guess that's about it then. I'm just gonna go and play the outro, not intro. I'll just go ahead and play the outro that I already had recorded. So I'll see you guys there. I don't know how long this video is. It'll probably be very long though. So if you are still here, then I very appreciate that. My channel is kind of dead now, so if you guys actually do watch this far, then I don't even know. But I guess that's about it then. I've tried to make this outro like 6 times now, so I'll just end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.